Hello, world. I'm Chris Pirillo, and you're watching another live edition of the LockerGnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short, your daily dose of geek news, product views, and answers that you can use, like an answer to the question, why was it possibly awkward at the beginning of this broadcast? You may have heard my wife a few seconds ago. She has gone viral.
Literally.
Yes. In this case, literally. She's got a virus living inside her right now, and it's turned one of her tonsils white. She can do nothing about this because she's pregnant.
I thought you were going to say she can do nothing.
Oh, she can do nothing. No, that doesn't come out the same way, I don't think. That doesn't sound very supportive if I say it that way. Thank you for joining us for another live broadcast. Really, I enjoy doing these every day with you. Live video is fun for me. This weekend, we're going to be doing at least one live video, our baby shower on Diana's YouTube channel. Next weekend, I've talked to Jerry Berg, a.k.a. Barnacules Nerdgasm. I'll be doing a live stream with him, a Geek Out, on Saturday. And then the day... What, baby? What? No, my birthday's the week after that.
Oh, yeah.
Tons of live streams. Those, for the most part, will be streamed to everybody. I stream these TLDRs live to the patrons every weekday. Actually, 2 live streams for them every weekday. 881 patrons as of today, and I know what you're thinking, Chris. You're going backwards. This is backwards in time. This is like 50 fewer patrons than you had yesterday. The reason why is because Patreon does not do a very good job at what it's able, what it is trying to do right now. Unfortunately, there were a lot of false pledges that were made over the past month. So unfortunately, we weren't able to hit the number that we were expecting to hit, and that's quite a big discrepancy. Sorry to report that, but I've cleared out as many false patrons as I possibly can. And hopefully at some point in the future, Patreon will get better at, providing real numbers and people who really, truly say they're going to be there and can actually see their pledges through. Either way, we did take a pretty big step backwards, but I'm very, very happy that we still have 881 people who are doing the right thing. July 9th, 2014, not yet 41. That'll be happening in a couple weeks. You want to become a patron? ChrisPirillo.com. I'm going to go ahead and start off the broadcast with my NatureBox, which I'm getting through slowly. I've been talking about these for a while now. You can have your nom-noms. I'll have the pop-pops.
Yay.
I need this.
I like the almonds, too.
Oh, the almonds? Almonds, folks! No. Pop-pops are my favorite snack now. We were approached by NatureBox a few weeks ago. And said, hey, you want to unbox a NatureBox? I'm like, sure, we like food. And it's healthy food. Even better. So, I am now addicted to pop-pops. They've told me that they're currently on order. They'll be in stock soon. So, if you're looking for this year's most amazing snack, I'm telling you, this one, I love it. Pop Pops.
Those are good.
This is a product view. Pop Pops.
With sea salt.
So, yeah, they started following us on Twitter because we've turned into fanboy and fangirl of NatureBox. Totally. You can head over to naturebox.com/Pirillo and you can save 50% on your first month's NatureBox. And if you snack, at least snack smart. We know nerds and geeks out there love, eating. This is what we do. Really, we eat and we drink. I'm trying to stick to water now. Doing my best, really.
Pop-Pops.
I don't drink Pop-Pops, though. I eat the Pop-Pops.
No, I mean water and Pop-Pops instead of soda and potato chips.
Exactly. Because, it depends, right? It depends on, what you like, your palate, what you've tried, and, if you're looking to expand your love for food, it's a great way of, exploring the world is through food, right? We all love to eat. And if you just keep eating the same thing over and over again, you really not... It's up to you. I'm just saying that I really enjoy food. I'm becoming a foodie fast. Yeah. A fast foodie. But I'm also happy to answer the question, what do you want in a robot? So someone asked this. This is going to be the patron video question of the day. What do you want in a robot? I have some ideas what I would want in a robot. And no, it is not like Darth Vader. Darth Vader's not really a robot. I think he'd be considered like a cyborg. This is a shirt that our friends gave me, Jazz and Slav. You'll see him this weekend at the baby shower hangout. Game of Clones. So it's Darth Vader, Game of Thrones. Perfect mashup. It looks like I'm not even there. Look, it's like I'm black. I blend in with the background of the monitor there. See that? No, it's just the extreme whiteness of my skin. It's another reason why I have to keep wearing this thing so that you know my arm is there. No, you know my arm's there. It's very, very, very white. I'm going to be posting, as I have for patrons, my How to Start with Android video. They got a preview of it. Everybody else gets it in a couple days as this week's TGIF. Next week, I think I'm going to record, or the one for next week, I think it's going to be about how to start with Lego. Because even today, someone asked me, where do I start? I'm like, it's really not that difficult. In my estimation, it's not that difficult. You just need to pick a place and then you jump in. So a lot of videos coming down the pike. Patron Earle Greene, he sent a link off to me. He's finding some pretty good stories. Apparently, and this is true, a family, basically a couple people in a family died because one of them dropped their cell phone into an open toilet. Not like a toilet that we know here in the States. A toilet that you can actually climb down into. It's weird. So they died because they suffocated. They died for a cell phone.
Oh.
So, exactly. Cell phones are not worth your life. And I know as much as you might remember when we weren't vlogging, when Diana dropped and almost lost her iPhone 3GS back in the day. So sentimental. It blew up anyway. That was the sewer phone.
Yeah.
It didn't drop. Well, okay, rain gutter sewer phone. We were at the Iowa State Fair. She lost. I remember we just picked up a turkey leg. We were sitting down on the curb, and then all of a sudden, flop, flop, flop. And then she had these sunglasses. You remember? She had these sunglasses. You couldn't see her eyes, but you could just see her lip. She was crying because her phone was basically gone. Yeah. So I went and got a grounds person, and they came out, they drove around, and we ended up retrieving the phone, and it was fine. Luckily, it hadn't rained for a week or so the ground was rather dry. So we salvaged that, but it wouldn't have been worth your life. If we could have recovered it. And that's the beauty with being able to back up your data online and all your settings and everything. I think Apple does a great job. Even Google, to a large degree, does the same thing, at least with Android. Phones can be replaced. You cannot. Just keep that in mind. No technology is worth your life. I'm going to say it. I know some people live and die by their gadgets, but I just don't think it's worth your life. And I don't think anybody would argue otherwise. And they shouldn't. It's just a piece of hardware. You are irreplaceable, but the hardware is replaceable. Just keep that in mind. And this is we get anxious, when we lose things that have some type of sentimental value to us. But even with that sentimental value attached to the iPhone, if we couldn't have recovered it, it's just a piece of hardware. I even told you, it's just a piece of hardware. Yeah. Diana put sentiment in it. I'm like, dude, it's a gadget. I mean, I love gadgets as much as the next geek does, but is any gadget worth my life? No.
And then it blew up.
Yeah, and then years later it blew up. Sorry, she's got a nom-nom in her mouth.
Yeah.
All right, show the nom-nom. Go ahead, show the nom-nom. Another product to you.
This is a popcorn.
No, that's a nom-nom. Pop was the thing I held up.
No, mine are popcorn.
Oh, popcorn.
Kettle.
Oh, kettle corn.
Hold on, I gotta show my
Chicago-style kettle corn is what they sent.
These are my favorite.
So now I've given you the excuse to eat a nom-nom? Mm-hmm. Will this help your virus? It kills the virus? Mm-hmm. We've got an 11-inch MacBook Air giveaway happening. And here's how I found out that we did. My Twitter feed exploded yesterday morning because when we announced it, just like everyone was sharing and sharing and sharing, I'm like, cheese and crackers, okay. I guess the deals website that we run is now giving away an 11-inch MacBook Air. If you want a chance, all you gotta do is enter. Use the link in this video's description. 11-inch MacBook Air. I could go for one.
Yeah.
I could. Although, to tell you the truth, if you gave me a choice, I'd be hard-pressed. If all I needed was a computer around the house and I didn't need something that was Apple-centric, I might consider a Chromebook, to do most average things. I don't know if I'd necessarily need a MacBook as a kick around the house type of computing laptop experience. Chromebooks could suffice. Manything. Now, this is something that's fascinating to me. iOS home video monitoring. I found out about this app because there's an where the hell's my phone's in my pocket. There's an if this then that conduit for this this service called Manything. Not anything, but think of the word anything and add an M in front of it. Manything. And sorry about that, too much water. What Manything will do, even though that screen is incredibly bright, is it'll allow you to transform any iOS device into a motion detecting webcam / security cam of sorts. Free. So, I'm sitting here thinking, what am I going to do with all these old iOS devices? I could sell them, but, I just can't help but imagine there's still some utility for them. And they still work just fine. But there's a way you can turn any iOS device through this free service, this app that you can install on an iOS device. It's a security cam of sorts with all sorts of rules you can set up and everything. Set up zones and motion detection and alarms and all sorts of fun stuff. Well, with the conduit to if this then that, it becomes even more powerful. What you could do effectively is this: if I had, let's say, a Hue bulb in my workshop here, and let's say the Hue bulb was over there. And I had a Manything iOS device, running Manything, let's say watching Diana, right? And if she moved, I could set an if this then that trigger to automatically change the light bulb color from white to red to white to red to white to red. I could set up a recipe. So I would know what was happening and I wouldn't have to be there. So you just, the possibilities, I'm not going to say are endless, but infinite possibilities or near infinite possibilities when you can unlock a service by way of if this then that. If you've never heard of IFTTT, you're obviously new to this community because I've been talking about it for years. Fantastic service. Have not yet tried Manything. Don't really have a specific use case for it yet, but a great way of using those old iOS devices for something. Quarterly tablet PC shipments are set to fall for the first time ever. And this is kind of, I guess this dovetails what I was just discussing. What do you do with these old tablets? I'm not going to say, and I don't believe that the industry, or I should say the adopters of tablet PCs are fatigued by the tablet, but there's no inherent need for everyone to always upgrade with every cycle. I mean, there are people that I know who are still using iPad 2, and they're fine with that. They don't need it for much more than that. They're doing some FaceTime calls maybe, surfing the web, checking email, pretty much everything they need to do on the tablet they're serviced by. Why do they need an iPad Air? Why do they need an iPad Mini? Why do they need a newer tablet? Or Android tablet? It doesn't matter, right? They already have one. And if they're being well serviced by that tablet, it does everything that they want it to do, there's no need to upgrade. Now, the only difference is a new tablet comes along, it's got a feature that they have been missing, that they want. That's the time to upgrade. So it doesn't surprise me that shipments are starting to fall. Shipments, not actually people buying, but shipments starting to fall because I think the demand is not as intense as it was. I don't think the tablet industry is going anywhere, certainly that segment of the marketplace. I think we'll always need new products to be released. I see tablet computers as, well, let me put it this way. We have a tablet computer bedroom, master bath, downstairs, den, obviously my workshop. Diana's got one in her office, which you're not much there anymore, really.
I probably will be when the baby comes.
When the baby comes. It'll be a nursery office thing.
I have changed.
She has changed. I do want to see about getting your iMac upgraded, though, to an SSD.
Yeah.
I think that'll speed it up dramatically. But I'm not a hardware geek at all. Like this, I love it, but I'm not the kind of guy who can go in and DIY and everything. So I'll end up usually messing it up. Anyway, this is one of the reasons I think don't be concerned or don't read too far into this particular statistic. I think more and more tablets are going to be released, but the need to upgrade a tablet is not, I would say, as intense for most people. And if you already have a tablet, why get another one necessarily? Unless you've got more people in the house. They're not cheap. I wouldn't say they're expensive. They're right in the middle. But there's no always a compelling reason to upgrade a tablet. And I think it's different for a smartphone right now. But even then, we're reaching our peak in terms of the people who have smartphones. You can only sell so many of them, right? And there's so many great options out there. So the shipments have fallen. I don't think this spells disaster for the industry. I don't think they're going away anytime soon. It's just, I think, hopefully we'll see better use cases for tablets or, the ability to, give second life or breathe a second wind into a tablet. Like what I was talking about with the Manything application. You could turn it into a security camera and then there you go. It's useful ad infinitum. Apps and kids. No, I'm not going to go off on a rant again. I know everyone's worried. Okay, I'm not. I don't know if anyone's worried, really. I was guessing. One person says it, and all of a sudden it's everyone. Google may be the next in the FTC crosshairs. A lawyer for Apple, back when the FTC kind of slapped them around for not making it, and Amazon too, for not making it, for not not putting enough protective measures in place to keep kids from buying things in apps. They didn't do enough. And I don't think they've done enough, quite honestly. I think the best approach to this experience to this point has been Amazon with their free play. I wish Apple did something like that. I don't know if they necessarily will, though. There's certain values. I've talked about the service before, so I don't want to dive too deep on that right now. So apparently now Google could get called to task, and they should. I mean, this is something that doesn't concern me right now because the baby is still in Diana's womb. But the moment that baby comes out, then like buying, it's buying things. I'm like, hey, who bought a 12-month subscription to Bably? That's the name of the magazine. Now, I don't know what it is. Who bought a subscription to Giraffe Monthly? See, isn't that's a little more outlandish, right?
Yeah.
It can happen. In these devices, there's only so much you can lock down, and I think there's a long way that Apple, Amazon, Google, or any manufacturer could go or should go in terms of. I got a hair back of my throat. Don't you hate that? They're usually long and brown when I end up pulling them.
Or they're yours.
Mine are short. Very short.
Or the dog hair.
They're not dog hairs. Dog hairs are tan around here. So Google could be next in the FTC crosshairs. Apple's the one who basically said, I don't know if you saw this, but... So Apple kind of got Google in trouble. I'm sure the FTC would have gone after Google inevitably for the same thing, because they're guilty of the same problem, making it too easy sometimes for kids to buy things by way of these tablet computers. So we've now reached about the halfway point of this broadcast. I've gone through, this should be the list of the new 25 patrons on up. You can become a patron at chrispirillo.com if you haven't already. I've optimized the presentation too, so it's widescreen. The text should be a bit clearer at this point. I'm doing my best to continue to tweak to make this a good experience for everybody, including those who are making it possible for me to do this. The U.S. military! Just when you thought Facebook was manipulating your emotions, the U.S. military has studied how to influence Twitter users in a DARPA-funded research project, or just DARPA-funded research in general. The Defense Department spent millions to research social networks, and studies focused on Occupy and Middle East protests. The projects also analyzed memes, celebrities, and disinformation. To think that it's just Facebook who's trying things and just tapping in and changing things. That's not to say that the U.S. military or DARPA or any of their funded research would have direct access to Twitter like the Facebook scientists had. But that doesn't mean they couldn't use it to manipulate things that happen on Twitter. This is what I don't understand. I mean, you just gotta understand, when something's out there, it's out there, right? And I think it's just important to note that, just know that we, as people who experience things online, or even before the internet existed, are bombarded with messages and messaging, and things that are usually done with intention. The intention on getting to us to get us to do something, to reach a certain outcome. And this is not new. Facebook's certainly not the first. They won't be the last. This research doesn't surprise me. I'm sure the results are very telling. And it's not to say that this is... I wouldn't say that... I don't feel any more violated than I would otherwise. I don't feel violated at all. Okay. I'm glad they did this research, if only to study patterns and habits. You should just see how misinformation spreads on social quickly. God, even the people that you would never expect would send you a link. Like someone embedded a video of it was allegedly a plane that lost one of its wings. It was a video they embedded, and it lost one of its wings, and then allegedly it made a landing. And the landing that it made, with the wing, it wasn't real. I could watch the video and go, it was edited. There was something that just was unnatural about it, especially in the landing part. But people are intent on spreading those things, right? They want to believe that this was real, and it wasn't. You don't know as easily anymore, what's real and what's fake anymore. I mean, Snopes is a great resource, but Snopes isn't always there as a man on the ground or woman on the ground, person on the ground when something like that happens. And you don't know where to turn to for clear information. I'd say a big deal. I'm getting a phone call. Why am I getting a phone call? I don't know either. People keep calling my number. I don't know why. Tell you what, I got this little Vader cap. Came from a home of a smoker, so I got to figure. You guys have a DIY? This I can handle. I think I'm gonna have to put that spray stuff on it that makes it smell better or something like that, because it's a stinky Vader kid cap. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan of smoking. I am a fan of this baby onesie that someone made for us, although we don't know who. It says, "My daddy was going to call me fart face buttlick Pirillo." That's true. I was going to do that, and now it's on a onesie that baby Pirillo will wear. I just want to let everybody know Fartface Buttlick is not in the running for a name. So don't ask. It's not going to be Fartface Buttlick Pirillo. Despite what I may have said at some point in the past, will not happen. Your name could be there. Easy to do. ChrisPirillo.com. Really do appreciate that level of support. I'm going to go ahead and flip over my mouse and try to kick in the screensaver. Yeah, there we go. All right, good to know. By the way, got our next webinar happening tonight. It's probably going to be shorter than the first one was. The first one was 90 minutes long, answered a lot of questions related to video production. But if you're wanting to get started on YouTube or trying to get some questions and answers in relation to YouTube and strategy, that's why I wanted to do the webinars. It's going to be, like I said, a shorter one, but interactive nonetheless. Tonight I plan on talking about MCNs, or multi-channel networks. You want to join us, it's easy to do. Webinar.chrispirillo.com. Patrons get a 50% off discount on that as well. Since, the webinar stuff is more for the video producers, not so much video consumers, because they're different, right? You may live in both circles, but not everybody that I, connect with in the world lives in both circles. So, free. Mainstream support, I'm going in a bad place with this. Mainstream support for Windows 7 ends on January 13th, 2015. So that's if you were hoping for free support for Windows 7, Office 2010, Service Pack 1, Windows Server 2003, 2003, a whole bunch of Microsoft products, free mainstream support ends on January 13, 2013. 15. Me and numbers, man, we don't always get along. So keep this in mind. If you're on 7 and you were reluctant to move to 8, if you're looking for free support, mainstream support from Microsoft, you've got a few more months, and then it's time to move on. And if you can't move on, or you don't want to move on from Windows 7, well, you can hold on to it, but expect that support's going to disappear. And it's kind of like Windows XP. They had to cut it off at some point. They did. And they're going to do the same thing with Windows 7. So if you're on 7, you don't like 8, hold your breath for a better 9. I would expect that 9 would be better. I don't know if Windows could do much worse for its audience than it has to this point. Remember, we told you about a report the other day suggesting that the most popular version of Windows right now is Windows 7, not Windows 8. And the fastest growing Windows version is Windows 7, not Windows 8. So yeah, just letting you know. Very well ahead of time. January 13th, 2015. That's when it stops. Avast. Now, this is kind of scary. If you're an Android owner, user, person, thing, guy, girl, can I try this again? If you are someone who uses an Android device, and if you are someone who has done one of these things, man, I'm going to do it myself. Well, I'm not going to actually do it because I don't want to do it. I mean, I'm going to show them what you do. So if you ever needed to reset your Android device, you go to backup and reset. If you go factory data reset, which I'm not going to tap right there, if you go there and you reset the device, you think that it's gone through a full wipe. Well, apparently no. Avast has discovered that Android's factory reset option leaves deleted data in a recoverable state. Ouch. I was expecting more from Google. So Avast has a tool to completely wipe your personal data. If you have an Android device, don't think that you're fully covered just by that reset option. That's scary, and it's news to me. And it's actually kind of upsetting at the same time. Why is this not the biggest headline today? Why didn't I just mention it at the top of the show? I don't know. I'm just throwing it in there because I'm just letting you know. But don't say that I didn't warn you, because I'm clearly warning you. If you do right now, the default wipe or factory reset option in Android, as uncovered by Avast, with data to be able to back up their claim. This is not, you got to do that, and then you got to do other things. So Avast has a tool to help you wipe your Android device, truly wipe your Android device. This I wouldn't say that this news is kind of on fire, but I just assume that when I press that button, everything's encrypted, wiped, zeroed out, debanned, whatever. Debanned. Derek Boot and Nuke, remember that?
No.
No, of course you don't. But some people might. They don't do any like fancy schmancy wiping or rewiping or rewriting of the entire SSD or the memory. So I think the problem is that people just trust the factory reset option is going to wipe the data, and that's apparently not the case that is apparently not the case according to Avast. Yikes! Silicon Valley. In Silicon Valley, if you are a high school student, there's a chance that you might be poached for talent as an intern at any one of these high-tech companies. And there's a possibility that you, as an intern for one of these high-tech companies in Silicon Valley, could earn more than the average person who has been in the workforce for a number of years. If you are talented when it comes to the computing thing, you've got a ticket to ride. Really, you can make more money than the people who came before you at a much younger age. Which is, hey, that's great. I mean, I wouldn't say that, trust me, if at 20, I'm not the same, at 41, I'm not the same person I was at 20. Certainly not 17. So, I mean, there's certain responsibilities that come with having that much responsibility foisted upon your shoulders. But still, good opportunities for the youth of, the world, really, in high tech. And boys, girls, doesn't matter. You got the brains, you will go far. You're an intern, even as an intern, being paid better than some people in full-time jobs.
That's awesome.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's cool.
You go get coffee?
Not that type of intern. No, this is like you're actually developing product, like actually helping the company's bottom line.
Your intern would be killing spiders.
Yes. Amongst other things. I have many things that I would need an intern to do, but I don't. I've had not so great luck with interns. I've only had luck with a couple of volunteers in the past, including Liz, who's been great. She's been my right hand as far as Vlogger Fair is concerned, which is happening in August. Hope to see everybody there. If not, don't say that I never gave you the opportunity, because there it is.
Almost a month away.
Oh, is it? Oh my God, you're right.
Oh my gosh.
And I know we're going to sell out. That's the good news. We're well on our way to selling out, which I'm very happy about. So even if you don't want to come, there are people who do want to support the endeavor on the ground. I'm very, very happy and very grateful for that support. Google has added Android smartphone and tablet screen mirroring to Chromecast. That's a big deal. I have a Chromecast, plugged it in again today. I wouldn't say that the experience had dramatically improved. Tried to make it a little better, and then I don't know if I bricked the Chromecast, but I've lost its ability to connect to a wireless network. I seem to have had okay experiences with Chromecast. Even in the review that I did when I first got it, it was $29. It's impulse buy. I ended up getting 3 of them. It was nothing. Oh, speaking of extra hardware, I've got to give this away. I talked about it yesterday in TLDR. It's the Phone Suit Flex XT pocket charger. It's an extra one. Diana's got the black one. This is the blue one. And I think this may be going out to $5 patrons and higher. I'm just going to pick one out of the hat and go, here you go. What's your address? I'll send it to you. And then we'll announce that. Did you hear that? Yeah. Like, why is it ceiling caving in? Are we sliding down the hill? Let's not do that live on YouTube, shall we? Okay. Top cities for tech jobs. I had this listed, right next to the intern news, but top cities for tech jobs. A new study ranks Seattle number 2. Ahead of San Francisco. So if you're looking for good tech jobs, come on out to Seattle. Or go to San Francisco. But come out to Seattle. Seattle's a good time. Don't ask, though, if you come out to Seattle if we can hang, because that isn't necessarily going to happen. If only I can if I can make a job with just, like, hanging out with people in real life, I would totally do that. But it just generally doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Usually.
You have to squeeze me in to hang out. That's how busy you are.
Oh, that's how. Oh, I have to squeeze you in my schedule.
Yeah.
Got it. I'm thinking physically somehow squeezing, and I'm like, why would I squeeze you?
I have a viral brain.
In a pregnant belly, if I squeeze you too hard, it's like toothpaste. I don't know how it works. Does it look like I've been through this before? How do I know?
I don't know.
If you are a Microsoft Xbox 360 owner, as opposed to a Sony Xbox 360 PlayStation owner, I just throw these words and names around. Xbox 360 owners may see a message offering a $75 promo code if you upgrade from your Xbox 360 to an Xbox One. Kind of nice. I have one Xbox 360 now with a faceplate that Major Nelson gave me eons ago when I was just podcasting. It's a good machine. I mean, we pretty much only use it for like playing back DVDs at this point. I have no desire to get an Xbox One right now. It really wouldn't enhance my life. But maybe if Microsoft threw up a coupon and say, hey, you know what, we'll give you half off. It's a possibility. I think Microsoft's trying its best to push their community along to upgrade. They have not done as well in the marketplace in terms of selling units compared to the PS4, which is really its corollary. If there is not corollary, it's a competition really. PS4, Xbox One. So it's interesting news. You may see this on your Xbox 360. Is that going to be enough to get people to upgrade? Possibly. If price was the thing that was holding you back, I think offering $75 on something that you might have been inclined to do anyway is a step in the right direction. And then on the Microsoft front, and this will be the last bit of news I think I'm going to share today. Microsoft's Flight Simulator is kind of coming back from the dead with Dovetail Games. The last flight sim, if I'm not mistaken, Microsoft Flight Sim, very, very popular, very, very good game. 2009, but I think they tried it again, like a pseudo-revival in 2012. That didn't fare too well. Well, Dovetail Games is basically picking up the ball or picking up the plane and running with it, or flying with it. I can mix metaphors, continue, as I... That didn't even make any sense. I will continue to mix metaphors as I continue to speak. It's what I'm going to do. You're giving this virus thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want your virus.
No.
You don't get me pregnant either, because I don't need any of that right now. If I wake up with morning sickness, I know who I'm going to. It can happen. I read it in the Midnight Star. Yeah.
On the internet?
No, the Midnight Star. Yeah, it's the tabloid. You guys read the Midnight Star? I want to know. You can eat jelly donuts and lose 40 pounds a day.
What?
Yeah, you can even hear the story of a man born without a head.
What?
Yeah. And top psychics all agree that the telephone company is going to have a brand new service that'll let you talk to the dead.
No.
Yep. I read it in the Midnight Star.
Is this a real thing?
It is a real thing. Go ahead, Bing it.
Okay, here we go.
Don't use Google. Cheater. Bing it.
Can I use Safari?
Yeah, sure, use Safari. See, that's the average user there. They don't know. Just go to Safari. Just to go to the web. It's one and the same. They don't know one service from the next. Oh, speaking of Apple, okay, I realized the Microsoft news I thought was going to be last. Apple's replaced Google Maps in their Find My Phone feature on iCloud.com, which is the web-based portal for all web-based portal for most of their iCloud services. I expect iCloud.com to be kind of a gateway that anybody could use from any device for every one of Apple's services. So I expect that to get better over time so that you don't have to have an Apple device to use Apple services. You just need a web browser, which everybody has. Let's face it. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you for not infecting me with anything you might have. Appreciate all the support. Thanks for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, watching even more of our videos right now, becoming a patron. I'm about to do the next patron-only video, specifically about what I would want in a robot. Me, myself, and I want a robot. I've got some ideas of what I would want in the robot, other than like robotic jelly or whatever robots have inside them. What do robots have inside them? I don't know. Robot parts. Thanks again. At this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. We'll see you later.